Hello, hello. I'm Karen Del Maestro, health coach, breast cancer survivor, and bounce back expert. And today I just wanted to pop in real quick and show you how you can very quickly find out about the sunscreen that you're using and whether it's toxic or not. So right now, I'd love for you to head on over, or after just watching this video, don't go yet, head on over to ewg.org. I'll put a link to that website below the video. So don't worry about remembering it. But it is one that you could be referring to on a regular basis. Now, the Environmental Working Group is an organization that, as you can see, they look at cosmetics, they look at water, they look at food, they look at furniture, they look at cleaning products, all of these. So it's really an amazing resource to check out where to find toxins within your home. It can feel overwhelming, which is why I like to do it in bite-sized pieces. And if you need more help with that, feel free to reach out. So today we're looking at sunscreens. So we're going to head over to the sunscreen guide. Pretty easy, right? And there's even a downloadable guide. I've actually also put together a quick guide for you. So whichever you prefer, that's great. Now, all you're going to do from here is you can look at the different categories. But where I'd like you to start is I'd like you to start by putting in the brand of sunscreen that you use. Okay, so let's just put in Copper Tone. It's a popular brand, not what I use anymore, but certainly one that I used with my kids when they were younger. So if you put in the one that you're currently using, and then you're going to see that every sunscreen has got a number next to it. You can see 2s and 3s right here on my screen right now. And what this means and how the Environmental Working Group, EWG, tailors their scale. It's from 0 to 10, and it's about toxicity. So 0 is least toxic, 10 is most toxic. My personal frame of reference for anything that I use is it needs to be a number 2 or below. You get to choose what your frame of reference is. And sometimes we're not ready to go fully toxin free, so sometimes we transition a little bit, and that's okay. It's whatever works best for you. But I always feel like change starts with awareness. And as something, especially if you are a breast cancer survivor, especially if you carry the BRCA gene, especially if you're predisposed to certain diseases that might be linked to hormones, these are things that you really, really, really need to know. So we can see on here, some of these sunscreens are 3s. I want to hop into some of the higher level ones because I want to show you what you're actually looking for. Okay, so we can see here the sport ones are starting to get up to a number 4. Okay, so rising 5. Whoa, here we go. All right, so let's go here to a number 7. Let's go. Okay, so this is a kids sport sunscreen. It's a spray and it's an SPF 50. This is the kind of thing I used to use on my son when he was playing baseball. And we can see that it's a number 7, okay? And the way that they also do it is you can see that green is the best score, red is the worst, and you're going to hit a bunch of orange in the middle. You can see how it goes down here, okay? So that's how you can very quickly see what they recommend and what they don't. So a red, I wouldn't even be looking at now. That's my choice. Understand that that's my choice. Okay, so why is this a number 7, right? I always like to know why, so that I can become informed, so that I can make decisions moving forward for what works best for me. And I want you to be able to do the same thing. So I always click on health concerns because that's what I'm concerned about. That's why I'm making different choices with my sunscreen to start with, right? Okay, so let's take a look and see what this says. All right, so ingredient concerns. Now, again, if you want to get into the actual ingredients, you can. And if you want to study more of that, please feel free to reach out. That's something that I'm very familiar with. But I want you to know that you don't have to. You don't have to know what every ingredient is. you need to look at the numbers here, and you need to know what's important to you and your family. So, ingredient concerns. I'm going to look over here and I'm going to see this big C word here, cancer. Now, if you were to ask me if I wanted to put something on my skin that I'm doing to prevent skin cancer, and yet it's got a moderate risk of causing cancer, I'm going to say absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm also going to say, as a mom, that the mama bear comes out in me, and I'm saying, you're really going to expect me to put that on my kids? Not happening. Not happening. So this is what I mean about feeling empowered, right? Is knowing simply that these sunscreens can cause cancer is empowerment as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so even just moving on from that, developmental and reproductive toxicity. Those are important things. These are lower on the risk scale for this particular sunscreen. Remember, this is just this sunscreen. All sunscreens are different, and that's why I highly recommend putting in the one that you actually use. Then when we look at allergies and immunotoxicity, there's a high risk. So I'm going to pop over here, and they desperately want to send me some downloads here. And feel free to sign up for them. They're very useful. I have them already. So when I'm looking at ingredients that are high risk, we're looking at endocrine disruption. So endocrine disruption means hormone disruption. When we know that our hormones regulate pretty much every function in our body, anything that's disrupting those hormones is really important. This is especially important when it comes to things like cancer, fertility, and infertility, obviously, on the flip side, skin issues, weight issues, inflammation issues, immunocompromisation issues. So if you've got, for instance, any kind of autoimmune disease, if the hormones are being disrupted, most of those autoimmunes are affected by hormones. So again, something that's really, really, really important. If you find that you have food intolerances, often linked to hormone imbalance. These are things that we don't know, right? Because it's not really spoken about. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm sharing this information with you today. All right, so look on over and see why. Use restrictions. It's got moderate use restriction. Now, this one I'm going to guess is because it is a spray. So because it's a spray, you can see skin, eyes, and lung irritation. Do we want that? No. Do we want that for our kids? Absolutely not. Don't sign me up for that. So those are the basics of what you're going to find on those health restrictions there. So like I said, don't feel like you need to understand every ingredient or every specific thing that's going on there. Just look at it and see, is there a high cancer risk or a moderate risk? What are the risks with this sunscreen, and are they relative to me? And if you need to chat, feel free, reach out, shoot me an email at Karin, Karin, .bhwc@gmail.com. I am happy to chat about this. It's something that I feel is really, really important to our health and well-being. So when we go down here, we start to look at some of the ingredients. I'm not going to go into all of them, but a couple of these ingredients here are scored 8. They're red. That means danger zone, danger, danger, danger. And the number 1 on this list is oxybenzone. Oxybenzone, as well as being something that's important for developmental risks, allergies and immunotoxicity, endocrine disruption, non-reproductive organ system toxicity, and cellular level changes. Okay, so these are all things that are like really big flashing red lights in my world of health and wellness. These are things that we do not want to be messing with. So knowing that this one ingredient messes with this stuff, I'm running a mile from this product. Oxybenzone is also the ingredient that has been proven to kill off the coral reefs. And bleaches out those reefs and is killing them off, literally. So knowing that, we also have to look and say, if it's doing that to the coral reefs, what's it doing to us? Places like Hawaii have actually banned the sale of sunscreen that contain oxybenzone. Again, why? If Hawaii is doing it, why aren't we doing it everywhere else? So again, if you need recommendations for safer sunscreen, I'm happy to share what I use, and I'll put a link to that also down below. The one that I use does not use oxybenzone. It's in fact on something called our never list. It will never be included in any product that we sell because of how toxic it is. And the final thing I want to just touch on here real quick for you guys is fragrance. Fragrance in any product, so from cleaning products to personal care products to makeup to candles to anything. Anytime you see the word fragrance, fragrance is considered a trade secret. Therefore, the ingredients of what are contained in that fragrance never need to be divulged. So, what does that mean for us? It means that more often than not, they contain a bunch of very harmful, toxic chemicals that are messing with our bodies and our health. So again, when we look over here, endocrine disruption, non-reproductive organ system toxicity. These are things like your kidneys, your liver, your lungs. These are things that we do not want to be messing with, your heart, right? Again, endocrine disruption, messing with hormones, skin irritation, eyes and lungs, and immunotoxicity. So anybody that is immunocompromised, which is a huge number of people in the world today, we're seeing autoimmune disease on the uptake. And in my personal opinion, a lot of that reason is because of our products and what we're using. So is it something that I feel is really important? Yes, absolutely yes. Without hesitation. So again, I hope you found this helpful. I'm going to pop down below the link to the ewg.org, my email address, and a link to the sunscreen that I use and that I use on my family. And I hope that this has been helpful. Feel free to reach out to me on that email address if you have any other questions about toxic products in your life. It is one of the major things that I do discuss as part of my health coaching practice, because I do believe that it is so crucially important to all of us, especially if you are a cancer survivor and you are trying to reduce your risk of reoccurrence. Okay. Bye for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope it's been helpful. Check out ewg.org. Head over there now. Put in the sunscreen that you're using and see where it is on the toxicity scale, okay? Send me your aha moments, because I bet that many of you are going to go, what? Because that was my reaction too when I first discovered this. Bye for now.